Engineers with NASA's Launch Services Program had to think fast in order to keep on track the January 23rd liftoff of the agency's latest tracking and data relay satellite. The spacecraft, TDRS-L, was sealed atop the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket out at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station's Space Launch Complex 41. The launch team was just about to release the final built-in hold of the night, with only 4 minutes left until liftoff.
On my mark, time will be T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
LC, LD, do not pick up the count.
The delay stemmed from the rocket's telemetry, its ability to communicate with the ground.
Much in the same way a doctor would measure the vitals of a patient, we measure the vitals of a rocket during a launch countdown.
There are two ways for a rocket to send telemetry data. There's a hard line, a cable attached to the rocket through an umbilical, or radio frequency, also called RF. During countdown and launch, rocket and spacecraft send this data to NASA's Telemetry Lab in Cape Canaveral Air Force Station's Hangar AE. From there, engineers send it out to controllers and console displays. During the TDRS-L countdown, spacecraft data was included in the stream coming from the Atlas V rocket.
The spacecraft telemetry is embedded inside the launch vehicle's telemetry. And when it enters the building here, we extract the spacecraft telemetry data and reprocess it and send it to the spacecraft folks for their data processing system.
Since a rocket can't stay plugged in during the climb to space, it's common practice to switch to RF telemetry prior to launch, just to make sure everything is working. But just as a cell phone call is sometimes less clear than via landline, RF telemetry can experience occasional brief drops in data. And that's just what happened during the TDRS-L countdown.
So as a first order response, when we heard of the dropouts, was we wanted to correlate the spacecraft dropouts to the dropouts we saw in the launch vehicle to prove that they were real and that we were talking about the same exact anomaly.
The team needed a solution, and with the launch window already open, they needed it fast.
We decided that we would go back to a hardline source that would be solid, have no dropouts in it, and that we would instantaneously switch them to the RF source at T0.
Team members convened for a discussion on one of the launch controller's communication channels. Although this plan would impact the data for the launch vehicle engineer, it also would preserve the launch opportunity.
This is very unique because within like 10 minutes we come up with the resolution is to use the hardline instead of the radio frequency, and we switch it back at T0, and the resolution are concurred by all launch team members, and that turned out to be very well.
With a new liftoff time in sight, NASA launch manager Tim Dunn and launch conductor Ed Kidda of United Launch Alliance quickly polled their controllers, and the launch was back on track.
3, 2, 1, main engine ignition, and liftoff of the Atlas V with TDRS-L, building our ability to meet the growing future of communications in space.